Hey guys, Walls here, and it's Monday, and we just used Padlet in class for the first time. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how Padlet can help you and your students build a bigger boat. What we used it for was to respond to a question that was pretty divisive. The question I asked was about recent events and should America have stricter gun control laws? It's a pretty politically charged question, and I wanted to give kids a chance to express themselves in a way where they felt safe to say what they really felt, but didn't necessarily feel like they had to be held accountable or they were open to attack. And so we used Padlet today to do that. And this video is going to walk you through how I created the Padlet, and I'm going to show you the results of one of my classes and go over some kind of do's and don'ts and some of the things that worked out really well and some of the things I thought I need to look out for in the future. So here we go. All right, so I've got a brand new tab open here in my Chrome web browser, and I'm just going to go up here into the address bar and type in padlet.com and hit enter. And let's see here, I'm already logged in, it looks like. Let me log out and show you what that process looks like. Okay, well, you won't miss me for long. There we go, log in. And so you'll see this screen right here, and I'm using my mcnairy.org domain account. So I'm just going to click log in with Google and click the appropriate account right there. And I guess it doesn't matter which one you use. So there we go. I've got my dashboard here. And if I've got any Padlets I've already created, I've got them right here waiting on me. And so there you go. Now I want to show you I'm going to show you how to go through the process of creating a new one. So I'm not going to open any of those. So let's go to dashboard, and up here in the right-hand corner, let's click new. And this gives you your options about the setup. When I was using Padlet, I was practicing using Padlet after I learned about it at a conference, and they've made some improvements since then. It used to be kids would just type in their little pads and things would go crazy and there'd be pads popping everywhere. Now you can pre-select how you want your pad to flow. And for the purposes of the exercise I used today, I created a shelf right there. So it's going to create the Padlet, and Padlet always kind of pre-renders all this stuff, and they give you your title and all those things. I'm going to make my title state your opinion. That's what we did today. And the description, I included the question in the description. Do you think America should have stricter gun control laws? Okay, so I've got my title there and my question. Now, if you'll notice, the background here I don't think lends itself to the seriousness of this particular prompt. So I'm just going to pick kind of a generic prompt here. Let's just go with Blackboard. That way we're safe there. So I exit out of that and I click my next for modify. This is going to give me my sharing options. I don't want to go there just yet. I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to name my first column yes and click save. I'm going to add another column and click no and type in no and click save, and then add a column for those who are not sure and add maybe. So now when the kids see my Padlet, they're going to click a plus sign if they think yes. They'll title it yes or something, and then they will say this is my opinion. And when they click out of it, it's there, and the whole class, everyone who's viewing the Padlet can see this pop up, but it's anonymous. There's no names attached to it. Of course, you could put their name to it. My name's Andrew Walls. That's my title, and then this is my opinion. So you can ask the kids to do that either way. No names, however they want to do it. And then, of course, if the kid notices, man, I really goofed up, I didn't put an end mark there, so that was grammatically incorrect, they can go back in and edit it. And you just keep adding pads, and the people who are you're sharing it with, they can't add columns and things like that. They can only add pads. So when I've got my pad the way that I want it, I'm going to click share, and I'm going to click share, export, or embed. And I've done this with Google Classroom. I've done it with Google Forms. You can embed this in activities. I usually, like for today, I just did copy link, And then I opened up my Google Classroom and just created an assignment and copied the link there. And so the kids just clicked on it and they were immediately taken here. And when you are done with it, if you go back to the people and privacy, you can change. So like, let's say I'm done with the Padlet and I don't want anyone else to be able to edit it. I'm just going to click on can write and just put can read. And then that way the Padlet itself is done and there's no way somebody can be adding it to it while I'm not looking. Let's just change that back for now. And there we go. Close. So that's how you create a Padlet. And now we're going to see what the final Padlet looked like in one of my classrooms. And I'll show you kind of what was good about it and then what we can look out for as far as improving goes. All right, guys. So we are looking at the actual Padlet that my fifth block created. And you'll see that I actually got a couple more columns than I showed you on the creation thing. I asked kids why they liked using Padlet and why they didn't like using it. So as you can see, I've got a lot of responses here. And I'm going to point out that some kids actually put their names here. You see this kid put his name here. And I told the kids that they didn't have to put their name, but they could if they wanted to. But in hindsight, I'm realizing that maybe they shouldn't put their names because technically any kid can put anything there. So at the title card can say anything. Now, if we'll scroll through here and you can see they can add photographs here. If the device that you're using has a webcam, they can actually add a photograph to their Padlet. And you can see in this picture, this kid is taking a picture while these kids are taking a picture. So that was all happening. Now, you can also see that there are kids that use this to actually answer the question. Some of these answers are pretty good. And I noticed this one right here. This kid actually chose to disagree with this kid up here. So, you can actually use this maybe for a classroom discussion. I told the kids I wanted to use it as a chance for them to speak their opinion while remaining anonymous. And you can see here, this is one of the responses I thought was interesting for why kids liked using Padlet. This person said it's a great webpage to discuss without being targeted for who you are. So, I've read a little bit about how introverts struggle in class. It's not that introverts have nothing to say or that they don't want to talk. They have a lot to say and they have a lot to talk about. But introverts especially will have a hard time with these questions like this, where you're trying to engage students and help them build a bigger boat by learning to express themselves. But they're still not quite ready to put it out there and stand up in front of the class and take a stand. So this gave kids a chance to respond to a tough question while feeling comfortable and like they weren't going to be attacked for their opinion. So this is what it actually looked like. I'm going to keep playing with this. I'll keep you guys posted as far as how my Padlet adventures go. But this is just one of the ways that you can use technology to build a bigger boat and help kids better navigate the world in which they live.